بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم لا حول ولا قوة الا بالله العلی العظیم الحمد لله رب العالمین و صلی الله علی سیدنا و نبینا بالقاسم المصطفى محمد و آله الطیبین الطاهرین لا سیما بقیة الله فی الارضین عجل الله تعالی فرجه الشریف. Alhamdulillah, we have tawfiq to continue our study of resources for inner peace in Islam, and we ended with some reflections on hadith about tawakkul. The last hadith about tawakkul that I want to quote and then move on to other topics is from Imam Jawad علیه السلام. ثلاث من كن فيه لم يندم. There are three things that if they are available in someone, they would not regret. So when you want to do something, when you want to say something, you want to travel, you want to start something, I don't know, anything, try to observe these three. Of course, when we say these three, it doesn't mean there are no 4 or 5 factors, but these three are highlighted here. توکل عجله. One is, don't rush. Take whatever time you need. Not delaying unnecessarily, but not also rushing. Take your time. If you need to inquire, if you need to consult, if you need to see certain changes, I don't know, etc., don't rush. ترك العجلة. والمشورة or مشورة, consultation. You will never regret if you consult good people. We have, of course, characteristics for people that we should consult. Basically, people who have experience, who are sincere and honest, are the people to consult. You don't regret by consulting. والتوكل على الله عند العزم. And when you make up your mind, put your trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as Allah said to the Prophet, وَشَاوِرْهُمْ فِي الْأَمْرِ فَإِذَا عَزَمْتَ فَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ. Tawakkul is a real thing. I have been trying my best to say these talks that tawakkul is a real cause for success. Tawakkul is not a formality. Tawakkul is not just saying that I know that Allah is, behind every cause. Allah is the ultimate cause. Allah is, the only Lord. Tawakkul is not just these beliefs that are correct and, we should have them. Tawakkul by itself is a tool. As Quran says about Salat, استعينوا بالصبر والصلاة. Salat is something that you can gain assistance from. Sabr, patience, or fasting as an example of patience. They give you energy, they give you power. The same with dua, the same is with sadaqah, the same is with tawassul, with ziyarah, shafa'ah, sili rahim. These are really working, but some have, a specific time and a space. For example, for shafa'ah comes on the day of judgment, but tawassul can be from now. Ziyarah is when you make ziyarah either from near or distance, but they are powerful. All are powerful. So when you put your trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in an active way, in a conscious way, and especially if you also say the words, because I think in the words also there is power, there's barakah. Tawakkaltu ala Allah, tawakkalna ala Allah. This is power, real power, and you are not going to regret. خب There are much more to say about توکل, but I want to continue with the rest of our discussions. So, after general talk about iman and having Allah as your wali and Allah being with you, and then about having good opinion and tawakkul, another quality which is very important and gives you peace is rida, to be pleased with Allah's decision. You know, in this beautiful ziyarat Aminullah that you are all familiar with, at the beginning, you know, we address the imam that we are, you know, visiting, and then we make some dua. Allahumma ja'al nafsi mutma'innatan biqadarik radiyatan biqada'ik. Oh Allah, please make my nafs tranquil with your decrees and satisfied with your qada, with your final decisions. To be pleased, to be in the condition of rida, is not only giving you great reward and raises your rank, but also gives you peace. And now we are talking about this perspective, gives you peace. When you are pleased with the Lord of this universe and his laws that by which he governs, then you have peace. There are two ways that someone can be happy when he is under a big system and, you know, a big lord or manager or boss. One is to be selfish and say, you know, they should listen to me, and whatever, you know, I want, they should give me. I will be then happy. But sooner or later, this is going to create problems because you are not wise enough, you are not experienced enough, you are not considering, you know, interests of other people. So maybe temporarily they can make you happy, but then it's not going to continue. And many other people also are going to suffer, and you yourself in the long term are going to suffer. For example, a student says, you know, to the teacher, to head teacher, you know, everyone, you know, make me happy. Okay, what makes you happy? I come whenever I like, you know. Classes should be short, no assignment, you know, no exam, whatever. Okay. Maybe temporarily you are happy, but even you are losing. The other way is that you be happy with the decision of good teacher, good principal, who consider your real interests of other people with wisdom, with knowledge, with experience. If you are happy with their decision, you enjoy and you succeed. So I can be, for the short period of time, happy by being selfish and asking everyone, you know, to serve my, you know, selfish interests, and then later all the problems will start. Or I can broaden my vision, broaden my, you know, scope of, you know, assessment, evaluation, and be happy with what wise people decide. This is leading to long-term peace along with success for yourself and success for others. Allahumma ja'al nafsi mutma'innatan biqadarik radiyatan biqada'ik. So we need to work on rida. Ya ayyatuha an-nafsul mutma'innah, irji'i ila rabbika radiyatan mardiyah. This is about the hereafter, but even in dunya, those who are radiyatan mardiyah, they have very good life, very peaceful life. They have hayat tayyibah. So rida is another resource that we have in Islam for inner peace that you need to explore. Also, qana'ah, to be content with what you have. As I said last session, there is no problem in asking humbly and gratefully for more. Humbly and gratefully, but enjoy what you have been given and appreciate what you have been given and benefit from it. Don't let what you don't have make your life miserable. No, enjoy what you have and say, if I could have more, I appreciate. Sometimes I make this example. I say, imagine if your child comes to you and says, I want you to buy me a bicycle. And he insists, buy me a bicycle, buy me a bicycle. And if you say, why, or, it's early for you, it's dangerous because we live in a very, busy road, etc. He says, look at what other, parents have done for their children. Everyone has bicycles, some have motorcycle. You haven't done anything for me. And, he shows, lack of gratitude, appreciation. Whatever you have done in the past for him, he denies as if you have done nothing for him. Because he has just one haja, he ignores whatever you have done for him. So when you see your child in this condition, why should you, give him a bicycle? First of all, it is not good for him. Secondly, he is not going to be satisfied because he is going then to want another thing. And he's going to forget this one. As he has not been he's not been grateful for previous things. But another time you have a child who says, my dear father, my dear mother, you have, done your best for me. You have always, been kind with me, supporting me, generous with me. I don't know how to thank you. How many times you, purchased for me what I wanted, or even the things that I didn't know I need, you, purchase for me. I want to see if it is possible, if I can have a bicycle, but I know you have other expenditure. I know you have other also concern. Plus, maybe you find it's not right time for me. So I trust your judgment. I am grateful for that I have done so far. If possible, just if possible, if you think it's good, please buy me a bicycle. No pressure. If your child speaks like this, what will you do? If you see it's his maslaha and you are able, you will certainly buy a bicycle for such a grateful child. So you see, when someone is grateful and someone is content with what has been already provided, this opens the door for receiving more. But if someone is ungrateful and always demanding and greedy, it's not going to help. So, to be pleased, to be content, to be grateful, these are things that are very effective ways of success, plus they give you peace. Shukr by itself, it gives you lots of peace. One of the problems that we have is that as soon as we have a major problem, and when I say major, not really major, but in the sense that something that is concerning you, because sometimes even our problems are small, but we think they are, very important. So, whenever you have a problem which you think is major, unfortunately, the mind, if it is not trained, works in the way that focuses on the problem. Okay? This is a defense system. Focuses on the problem, because if this is a threat and can be destructive, then we shouldn't ignore it even for a moment. So the mind focuses on the problem. When mind focuses on the problem is felt as something huge. Like all the lights, spotlights are projected on this problem. Like imagine, for example, if in a gathering of 1,000 people, the security feel one person might be a threat. So they all focus on that person. Then in your feelings and in your emotions, you give extra attention to this, just as a way to defend yourself. Okay, as a defense mechanism, this might be okay, but you have to train yourself when something is not going to finish soon, when something is not an immediate threat, and when you have other challenges. Because if you all focus on one person, for example, as security people, if you focus on one person, so maybe there are other challenges. So when we have a problem, that problem appears to us through our mental, defense system as something massive that we need to sort it out quickly. One consequence of this is that you may get too much stress, you may get very worried, plus you may underestimate lots of other things that are good, and because they are not threatening you, they are undermined. So we have to be in control. You should not let things happen just unconsciously. You should always say, there are problems, even if I have, for example, 10 problems to deal with. Okay, this is not the end of the world. There are thousands of things that are working. Imagine if you have, 1,000 people working for you as a, for example, boss, as a manager, 1,000. If 10 people are troublemakers, okay. Don't forget you have 990 good people. Don't let, this take all your energy and, make you, disappointed about the whole system and about all the people who work there, and you say, this is useless because I have 10 troublemakers. No, you have 990 good people. Maybe among your students you have, few people who are troublemakers. Okay, what about the rest? Or maybe this year it's like this. What about previous years, future year? Don't let this, damage your career and feel, you are useless, for example, or this is not tolerable. Maybe in your life you had experiences that sometimes one problem becomes so important for you that you think, if this is sorted out, I will be so happy, so relaxed. But then after that's sorted out, you feel, not big change has happened. I remember when, I was doing my PhD in Manchester. So we were about, at one point, 200 Iranian PhD students in Manchester. Therefore, we had lots of opportunities to talk to each other, share our concerns. And one of the huge things for all of us was, when my PhD is going to finish, because we were away from home, and we had limited scholarship, for example, for 3 years, maximum 3.5 years. Sometimes this could take 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. So there were lots of concerns. And what happens if the last minute they say, your PhD is not good, because in this UK system, the examiners who are external, they make the judgment, not your supervisor. So the worry is a lot in the minds of students. And you could always think that, the day I finish my PhD, I would feel I am just flying. Yeah, because there's so much pressure. And sometimes we were also asking people who had their YY, their oral exam, and they graduated. How do you feel? They were like heroes. They were very happy. For us, we felt they are very happy. But when you do your own PhD, also you realize, yes, alhamdulillah, not one problem finished, but life is the same. It's not that you are very, very happy. No, you are back to normal. Just temporarily, that problem was so big that you thought without that problem you would have, magnificent life. But then life was normal. So this is a way that you need to be managing your thoughts, your emotions, and take the leadership. Don't let your mind, take the control, take the lead. Because mind is working in a way that it's good, but not always the best. plus mind can be also affected by some, viruses, by some, thoughts, some ideas, some habits that are not helpful. We need to be in control and benefit from the mechanism that is in the mind, but also other things, and have an active role. Inshallah, in the next talk, I will talk more about some of the things that we can do to have inner peace, inshallah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin.